Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to talk about music. I know, right? That's supposed to be the North Star for this channel, and I haven't talked about music in a grip. So let's get into it. The reason I called it New Old Music is twofold. Today we're going to be talking about legacy bands that have been putting out new music. And the second reason is because I've been procrastinating a little bit, and all of these are notes of things that were left over from the last year or so. So many bands were putting out music in the last year and a half. I don't know if it's the holdover from the pandemic, where everybody was holed up and started working on new stuff, or what, but the floodgates just opened, and there was new bands, all kinds of new artists were putting out music, and every single legacy artist, it seems, that's still alive decided to put out a new album or new music last year. And I just couldn't keep up on all of it. So I'm going to try to clear the chamber of all this list, because I already have a playlist of new releases down below, and I want to get to reviewing all of that stuff. But first I got to clear the chamber of all of this new old stuff. Some of them are good, some of them are not so good. I'm going to try to be as honest as I can from stuff that I actually listened to over the last year. So, here we go. Billy Idol. Billy Idol and Steve Stevens did a very, very cool video on the 103rd floor of the Empire State Building, filmed by drones, and you really got to think of how cool of a deal that is, because that's something that never could have happened before, because you can't get helicopters in that close to get a cool video. And it's way above. I've been to the observatory deck of the Empire State Building, and it's very cool, but this is like way above that, and it's just a little area. The walkway looks like it's only a couple of feet wide. They got up on there and did their cool little video. They also did a couple of full band videos at the Hoover Dam of a couple of his other hit songs, and I think most of that was all promotion for his 40th anniversary of Rebel Yell. Reissued it with some songs that weren't on the original, and I'm a huge fan of Billy Idol, but it's kind of sort of out of my wheelhouse, so I never listen to anything but the hits. But the couple of songs that I listened to that I thought were new songs, but I think were actually just either remix songs off of the album or songs that were left off of the album originally that are now on the expanded version. Moving on, Tears for Fears put out new music last year, and it's okay. I had a friend that went and saw them live, and they toured for last year or so, and apparently they put on a really, really good show live. Flock of Seagulls had a cool song called Some Dreams. It sounds like Flock of Seagulls, like they haven't even taken like it was recorded just after all their hits, like it was recorded in 1985. That guy has never, I forgot his last name. He's been Flock of Seagulls forever, and he's never not toured as Flock of Seagulls. So it's cool seeing people that technically one-hit wonder, two-hit wonder, able to get a 40-year, 45-year career out of the deal. We also had new music from LA punk band X, one of the greatest punk bands ever. Along those same lines, we had Kate Pearson from the B-52s put out music, and the song I heard from that was phenomenal. So good, kind of dark and poppy, but dark. Speaking of dark, Nick Cave has never ceased to be prolific in putting out new music. Kim Deal of the Breeders put out music last year, and I listened to it, and it wasn't lame, but it was just wasn't great. Suzanne Vega had new music last year. The Cockatoo Twins, who's a band I'm slowly growing to love. I don't know why I haven't been into them this whole time. Well, I do know. It's because I was a dumb metalhead and only expanded out in certain areas, and I just wasn't aware of them. That shoegaze stuff. They're technically not shoegaze, I don't think, but they're kind of shoegaze adjacent, kind of goth adjacent. But Cockatoo Twins are just amazing. Kim Gordon put out new music, and post Sonic Youth, it was experimental and edgy and fresh and so good. So good. Duran Duran had a few, I don't know if they did a whole album, but they had a few songs, and they did a few cover songs too. They did a cover of Evil Woman by ELO, and a couple other covers. I'll cover in a cover video, if that makes sense. Bryan Adams had a new song. I wasn't real impressed with it. It was kind of a little hard-edged, but not quite heavy, and it was just kind of clunky. Not very good. I think it was a song that he had written for somebody else back in the day. Maybe Kiss. Or maybe the guys from Kiss wrote it for him. I don't know. I should have done a little more research on it, but it wasn't a good song either way, so I didn't really care. Mike Campbell of Tom Petty's group, Tom Petty's right-hand man, since Tom Petty passed away a few years ago. I was always worried and curious what Mike Campbell would do without his Northern Star guiding him, but he rebounded quickly. He became a part of Fleetwood Mac, replacing the fired Lindsey Buckingham, along with Neil Finn from Grounded House, and then after that he put his own band together called the Dirty Knobs, and he's the singer, and it's crazy how much he sounds like Tom Petty. This is great roots rock, blues rock, and it just is right there in the circle of Tom Petty, Bob Dylan-y type of stuff. It's really so good. David Gilmour put out a new album, and in my mind, there's two sides of David Gilmour. There's the floaty, of course, bendy, bluesy, lead guitar, drenched in reverb, David Gilmour, and that's the David Gilmour that I love. The other David Gilmour is the British singer-songwriter guy, and it's not bad, but it's not my thing. The main song that he put out, he does with his teenage daughter, Romani, I think is how it would be how you said it. I don't know if I said her name wrong. I'm sorry, but it's a cool song, but it's nothing I'll go back to. David Lee Roth has been making a lot of news this year, launching a tour and getting back into the swing of things. But last year he was slowly releasing. He had a couple of original songs, and he did a cover of Baker Street, and did an acoustic version of Mean Streets, the Van Halen song, which was pretty cool. I tried to listen to the whole Bon Jovi album that came out last year, and there's some good songwriting on it. Pretty sure it's Phil X playing guitar on most of it, which is always a pleasure to hear Phil X play, but it's definitely Bon Jovi music, so he doesn't get too crazy. And with all his vocal problems at the forefront recently, he sings it weird. I just couldn't get past how weird his vocals sounded on it. So there's that. The Dandy Warhols is a band that was never in my wheelhouse, but I've always heard their name, and I always thought that they were one of those Britpop bands. And I got to looking into it because they put out new music, and it attracted my attention because one song had Slash as a guest on it, and another song had Debbie Harry from Blondie as a guest on it. And they were cool songs, but those guests made me kind of dig in a little bit, and apparently they're not Britpop at all. They're kind of that style of music, but they're from California, and they're the band that's in the documentary called Dig, which Dig was supposed to be a documentary about the band Jim Jones. What was the name of the band? Jonestown Massacre. And they're the band that had the big internal brawl on stage in front of A&R people that were supposed to sign them. The singer was a big prick, apparently, would fire people in the middle of shows if they pissed him off. And they got in a big fight. They had this big show that they were supposed to get signed out of, and ended up having a big brawl and firing the guitar player on stage, and they were all tussling around on stage, and it's just a big fiasco. But in the documentary, while they're toiling away trying to find success and not being self-aware enough to know that the main guy is the reason why they can't get anywhere, this other band, the Dandy Warhols, are just getting everything handed to them. They just get the luckiest breaks, and the singer of Jonestown just always had some kind of make-believe, not a beef, but rivalry with this other band, and he just gets more and more pissed off that they're rising and rising and rising, and his band is just toiling away while he fires everybody every other day. I don't know, I won't get too crazy about, obviously I talked about it for like 3 minutes, but I might make a whole video about that documentary. I have it on my, it's free on YouTube, so it's on one of my playlists. Moving on, Pearl Jam put out some new music last year, and it's passable. It's good. Obviously, they're just a train rolling down the tracks, arena band, puts on an amazing show. I watched a concert with Pearl Jam from last year, and I'm not even a huge Pearl Jam fan, and I was just enthralled for like the first 30 minutes of it. It just, the way they play those old songs live, it's so crazy. After 30 years, 35 years, they just still have the energy that they do, and the heart in all of that music that's just amazing. Candlebox put out new music last year, and it was really good. I was real impressed. I wouldn't even have guessed that it was Candlebox. Not that Candlebox isn't good, but like it sounds different than old Candlebox, and it's really, really good. Alien Ant Farm put out new music last year, and the couple of songs I heard, it was heavy. If you only know them from their cover of Smooth Criminal, and it's dark and heavy. It's like almost, it's like Korn almost with that guy's voice on it. It is so good. It was so good. Opeth had new music last year. I've got a friend that's been getting into them, and he keeps bugging me about delving into it, and I'm just not into heavy music that much anymore. And if they were all the floaty, if they were more the Cocteau Twins, I would be more apt to get into it. But they're floaty and doomy at times, but then they're just too heavy at other times. I can't do those kind of vocals and stuff really anymore. I heard the new Black Label Society songs, and the one I heard was Gallows, and it sounds like he's singing off key at the beginning. I mean, at the first part of it, it just wasn't very good. I love Zakk Wylde to death, but it just wasn't very good. And the whole history of Black Label Society has been hit and miss for me. Sometimes they sound amazing, and Zakk always sounds amazing. The Pride and Glory and then the Book of Shadows are two of my favorite albums of all time. But the Black Label Society just sounds cheap. It sounds like a local band recording on most of it. I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. Deep Purple put out new music, and it just sounds like classic Deep Purple. It was really good. Metal Queen Dora Pesch, she put out new music last year, and it just it's good stuff. Part of her au revoir. Limp Bizkit had a new album. I think that was more like 2 years ago, but I couldn't believe how good it was. They did a cover of Don't Change by NXS, and some people try to shame me for saying that Limp Bizkit is good, but I don't care. I like a lot of their music, and that last album was really, 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 really good. Kitty, another new metal band from way back. I saw them open for Slipknot in like 2001 maybe, and they were always decent. They were never the best, but the first all-female new metal band was kind of cool. I watched a whole documentary about their history, and it's kind of cool, the sisters and the various people that have come and went in the band, and they deserve another chance. But honestly, with bands like The Warning out there, I don't know. Maybe they didn't make enough money. Maybe they gotta be playing music for a living, but there's really no use for it, in my opinion, when you got bands like the warning coming up on their tails. 20 years younger, and honestly, a lot better musicians. But you do you, boo. Def Leppard had a few new songs. I don't know if they put out a new album, but not classic Def Leppard. Way different than classic Def Leppard, but the ones I heard were pretty cool. One of them had an AI video, which I wasn't too happy about, but still kind of a decent song. They're leaning into their early 70s glam rock influences lyrically and musically, so that's pretty cool. Bands that I think of as new bands but have actually been around for 15, 20 years. Falling in Reverse and Bring Me the Horizon both put out new music last year. Richie Kotzen, sort of a guitar hero, front person guy. He should be way bigger. In a perfect world, Richie Kotzen would be as big as John Mayer. He's a phenomenal guitar player. As good, almost as good of a singer as Chris Cornell. And prolific writer of music. He puts out albums every year. He's in his own solo thing. He's in the Winery Dogs supergroup with Mike from Dream Theater and Billy Sheehan. And yeah, Richie Kotzen. He's freaking amazing. And I guess that's about it for all the legacy bands. So I've got one more video that I need to make about all the new music from last year. That I've got a different idea for that video, so stick around. I'm actually going to try to listen to some of it. Hopefully I don't get copyright claimed on some of it. It doesn't matter because I'm not monetized anyway, so take it. But I've got to clear that stuff out so I can start getting to some of the new music. So if you've watched this far, I appreciate you, and subscribe so I can get enough. I need 1,000 subscribers in order to get monetized, so I can start making videos like this a lot more regularly if this is a part-time job for me. So please subscribe, do all the things, create some engagement. Tell me if there's anything you heard this last year that you liked, and do all the things. And I love you.